So, the lawsuit, the 100 former patients of Hartgrove, which is in Chicago, a psychiatric hospital, that are all suing United Health Services, UHS. Um, I think it's bullshit. I think it's all fraud. I think they're fake. I do. I do think that people that are real victims would likely come forward, and that's what attorneys want. Except I'm not really sure why they're not making it a class act. Well, I do know why they're not making it a class action lawsuit. Because if it's a class action lawsuit, well, the judge has more oversight over it, and they can't deny people. So when you're just going to take case by case, then all these attorneys that now all of a sudden care about psych patients can pick and choose who they want to take. So here's how you play the fraud game so that the UHS wins, these fake patients win, and the attorneys win. And I would even go as far as to say the Democrat Party. Because they did this whole, committee back a year ago about, especially UHS, but about their residentials, and carried on about restraints. And my understanding, unless it's a PTRF, at least in Illinois, in a PTRF, that's like a step down from an acute setting. So you can do a manual hold, like hold somebody physically if they're out of control, but you have a time limit. And if they don't calm down within that time limit, then you have to call ER. You can't like put them in mechanical restraints. You can't. So if it's a drop down from that, which is residential, yeah, they usually can't do holds. So I'm not sure why they had restraints anyway. But that said, because of that whole report you Democrats did, yeah, I mean, I thought it was the Republicans. I mean, I'm sure some Republicans signed on to that too. But you Democrats, you put all of us staff and patients in danger at UHS hospitals. Yeah, because they got rid of mechanical restraints, and other hospitals still use them. Because anybody that works in psych knows that when you're in an acute setting, you have patients coming in that are acute. And it doesn't mean we are trained in when we need to get orders, how long we can have somebody in restraints. We do de-escalation and medication before. No nurse wants to do restraints because the paperwork is so insane. So it's just a lot of extra paperwork. We do everything we can to avoid that. But because you made this big deal about residentials, why did UHS get rid of restraints in their acute settings? Well, I'll tell you why. Sort of the reason the Democrat Party is people that want to hurt others. It's because UHS knew that others would get hurt. And that's part of the problem with all of this, is I keep reading that staff was violent, that patient on patient was violent. Okay, but that's all because of the violence coming from the executives. I mean, these are people that have no empathy. They have no remorse. Like, you can write them off because they're billionaires as just greedy. No, they're psychopaths. I've watched them put us in such dangerous situations and then tell you that you can't even call the police. They'll give you no staff. And you have this, and yet you can't put anybody in restraints. You can't do anything. And yet UHS, it's all comes from the top. The doctor doesn't have any control. No, the doctor may say, I don't want to accept this patient. Their labs don't look great. They may need to be medically, they may need to stay in the hospital. No, UHS says no. UHS, these mafia deadbeats, okay, scumbags in a nice suit. These administrators have no license, but the nurse does, the doctor does. But they somehow override the doctor, and it's like, yeah, and then you're forcing us to put orders in. Like, it's fraudulent at every level. So here's my question to the Democrat Party. Since you did this whole, committee a year ago about what was it called? Oh, yes, warehouses of neglect. Okay. So what I want to know, Democrat Party, because it was your party that was in, is you put United Health Services overall, you put them under a contract because they revealed it during orientation when I had worked for them. And I went through orientation and I'm like, oh, they're under a corporate integrity agreement. And I thought, well, that's likely bullshit because it's under the Democrat Party. And it was, because, see, the corporate integrity agreement is that UHS can't have any complaints or any problems because they've come under so much fire. And it's a contract between them, HHS, all the bad actors, okay, a bunch of different agencies. And yet me and many other staff made nothing but numerous complaints, because people were getting hurt. I mean, OSHA didn't care. I mean, they just do paperwork, and then that's why OSHA is useless. Joint Commission is useless. Public health is useless. None of these people know how to do the right thing. And yet those are the people you're leaning on to fix this system. No, you don't want to fix it. You're just trying to make it worse, because you did. You made it worse. You made it more dangerous, and you made it more, because you want to get the Democrat Party, the executives of United Health Systems, they want to get people hurt. I mean, do you know how long this place has been around? It's been in Illinois since the 70s. They've always had a bad reputation. They always do. There's no other hospital that has a worse reputation than them. I dare you, just for entertainment, to go and look at reviews, the things people say. And then what they often like to do is they blame staff. So they'll be like, we need to do more training. No, the staff isn't the problem. I mean, they will deliberately hire, just like the state of Illinois will go out of its way to put in the group homes for DCFS kids. They'll go out of their way to put people with rap sheets in there. Yeah, that I do know. But that's Illinois Democrat. So Democrat Party, that's what they do everything they can to hurt people, especially children. And then, and UHS is no different, because see, as a psych nurse, when I see that leadership, especially, and they call the shots, again, they call the shots. That CEO and his executives at the top of UHS, they call all the shots. And they have no remorse. They should be locked away. They should be forced to have a psych eval. But you can't really do that because they're just psychopaths, and that's just the personality disorder. But they're a danger. I mean, I work in a field where we have to determine if people are a danger to themselves or others. And the very CEO himself and his executives with him are a danger to the most vulnerable patients and to staff, because you don't give us staff. I'm telling you, this is not an exaggeration. I have so many nurses that would back me up. They go out of their way to put you in dangerous situations. They do. They are that sick, and yet they are heading up since the 70s the psychiatric hospitals. So, and here's what's happened in Milwaukee. So, because that's where I worked for them, was in their Milwaukee site, which has only been open like 4 years or something, and it's already come under hellfire all over the place. But nothing gets done. They don't shut them down. You know why? Because prior to them building their site, they shut down Milwaukee's mental health unit. The county place. That was much better, had staff, had didn't have all these problems. But then they gave it to United Health Services. It's this, for-profit thing, likely private equity being involved too, which makes it even more psychopathic. And then it's been just a shit show. So they won't shut it down because there's no other mental health for them to go to. I think the agreement was made with the former governor of Wisconsin. And so they all screwed us. But all of you people are the danger to society. I do know what a danger to society is. And it's you lawyers and you politicians that are Democrats and UHS.